Hello, Danielle. How you going? I just sent you a message before. Hi, guys. Hey, Nicola, Susan, Sylvia. Beautiful. Hey, Tula, Alison. Thank you all for joining me this evening. Thank you already for some thumbs and some hearts. I will start up at the top of the list and work my way down, and then I'll catch up with the comments. I am safe and well. Thank you very much, Nicola. Awesome. Alright, let's get started. So you guys know the usual for the most part. No pregnancy, no legal, no health questions. If you want a specific answer, ask a specific question. Otherwise, just say that you'd like a reading, and if I'm drawn to you, I'll give you a general read. So it's all good. Alright, let's go. Nicola. First off the ranks. You've got a nice energy around you at the moment, actually. Alright, let's have a look. Wow. It's always quiet when I start. Nice. You know what? It's funny when I see you got a nice energy around you. I kept getting like a just like a good perspective. Even like when you asked me if I was safe and well, I felt like you're you know, you look on those aspects as well, instead of like, oh no, this is what's wrong. It's like, yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good, you know. And that energy that sits there, I feel like it comes off the back of a little bit, because your first card out is the Heartache card, which talks about challenging matters of the heart. But I don't necessarily feel like these have all been recent, and you've got a little bit of, the card that follows next is the Shit Happens card, okay? And that card there is just that, like in life, as much as we don't like it, sometimes shit happens, and it doesn't mean that it's fair or that we did anything to deserve it, or, you know, all the extremes thereabouts. And the more I sit and the more I'm talking to you right now, the more I want to say to you that this is about what has been, and just getting yourself to a point. It's almost like you've been through enough experiences now where you're like, all right, I'm starting to figure this stuff out. And the parts that you hold on to, you know, sometimes we look back at things and we're like, wow, what that person did hurt, or gee, that situation hurt. And it makes sense that we feel a grief and a loss and all of those things around it. But, you know, the growth and everything else that comes through that, it comes to a point where we're going to go, it doesn't have to come to a point, like you can hear me out, but I just feel like it coming to a point with you where you're like, wow, I'm feeling like I'm ready to let this go. And to be able to put the perspective on it differently, you know what I mean? Like, people have different reasons for doing stuff, and it's not excuses or anything else like that. I'm just saying that you've got the perspective now. And so putting that perspective in place just kind of gives you the ability to move on. And it allows you to take a breath too, because have a look at who you are and have a look at how far you've come, and have a look, you know, around. And you can see that the growth that you've had, you're grateful for, and that you're not sort of stuck in those situations. So you've got the growth card that comes straight after it, okay, which talks about self-awareness and opportunity and potential. And for me, it's got the Tree of Life on it, and I specifically put that card, the Tree of Life, on that card because for me that's so symbolic of that. It's connecting to yourself, it's learning to sit peacefully within yourself and really kind of just, yeah, like personally grow, which I know sometimes can be a little bit cliche, but when it's done properly, it's far from it. If I pull your cards just for another quick three, you've got the Sunset card that comes out, which talks about the end of an era, which is beautiful, exactly what I'm saying. It's like looking back and being able to sit back and go, all right, there's been ups and downs and everything else, but I'm ready to move on. You know, and that's what it says, but tomorrow is a new day. So stand in your truth and your honour and your awareness, and be mindful of your self-care. Don't be afraid to put yourself first, and that includes, you know, making sure that you drink enough water. I've got a normal size bottle tonight. Eating properly, and all those little things that we tend to think and put ourselves last with, because it doesn't matter if I'm hungry and I get this done, but it does, you know. Follows through with the transformation card that's there. So as I said, it's a really nice energy, and sometimes we just take that deep breath and go, okay, you know, I'm ready. And for the possibilities that opens up afterwards, you know what, I don't feel like I need to go pardon me, like, oh, it's going to do this and it's going to do this and it's going to do this. For me, what it's feeling like it's doing is bringing that overall sense of calm and peace and connection to who you are. So that's what I have for you, and it's a really nice energy. Expect your intuition to grow within that, because it only makes sense when you tap into your personal that your senses increase. So yeah, enjoy. All right, let me jump to. I'm just going to do a couple on the list and then I'll catch up with the comments as I always do. Tula. Hi Liz, I hope you're well. I would love a reading please. My question is, will I stay in the same role at work this year or be offered a different role or promotion? Do you see me staying in the department for quite a few years yet, although I'm very curious about this year mainly? Same role. You know what I feel? A side step to the promotion. So different role. It's almost like a compromise to get to there. It's like, okay, this is an opportunity that's here for you now, and it's kind of like the gateway to here, but this here isn't quite here yet. Okay. As far as like staying for a few years and things like that, I want to say to you that the choices that you're making right now and the energy as it presents is a yes, because it's in my head it says it makes sense. There's things in the background, like if we think about service leaves and all of those bigger things, and even money wise and all of that sort of sits there, and I just feel like the balance between that and what you're doing right now, be mindful not to keep onto your comfort, but again, that comfort's not necessarily a negative, so I don't really want to dissuade you from that. You know what, the promotion sits there, but I don't feel that's your few years job either. It may be like 2 or 3 years, but it's not your few years job. That promotion side of things is very mentally, very, very mentally focused, and I think you might find after a couple of years you're ready to, do something a little bit different. Same field, same area, all that sort of stuff, but just something different. I want to say add more colour to it. Let me pull you a couple of cards. It's funny, a card flipped over. I wish I had a camera up above, but anyway, there's a card sitting up the wrong way, and it's a sunset card, which is perhaps a bit symbolic. So, sitting upside down. Let me just flip it over. Alright, so you've got the clearing out the stables, out with the old and in with the new, which is nice. As I said, you've got that, at least that different job sitting there, but I want to go before I get there, okay? Make the shifts that you're feeling like you're ready to do, alright? I never like to say, yeah, absolutely, you want that decision to be within yourself, but I want to, kind of push out the door. You've got the clearing out the stables there, which is, again, out with the old and in with the new. And it's not that I feel like, the poo sitting around you, but I do feel like it's almost like stagnant energy now, and it's cobwebby. That's when I envision it. Sort of see cobwebs all up in the corners, okay? So be positive. Your attitude is a choice, and that's what it's like. It's like, all right, cool. I've actually got opportunities and things like that in front of me. So these frustrations and everything that I'm feeling, I'm actually just going to take those as signs that it's time to put some action into place, and you'll find once you actually take those steps and make those decisions, you feel a big weight lift off your shoulders, and what you felt like was frustration is actually clarity now, okay? You've got the long term around your health card there, and the card for health never talks just about physical health. It's mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, all of those things combined, and that's what I feel like you're doing right now. And so I kind of want that card just to be a little bit of validation that it is time to recognize what you're feeling and what your intuition's telling you. I feel like either way, like when I say either way, we're looking at a few years, and as it sits now, I feel like it's a few years. But I want to say to you that even if that path alters slightly that's there, I'm quite happy to sit on a nice decent stretch of energy where you're feeling okay and you're feeling okay, content, and there's no big I'm not wanting to pull my hair out and things like that. So as far as all of this energy goes, it's there. As I said, I want you to trust your intuition, because I do feel like you're on the right path with it, okay? So I hope that helps. Alright, so I'm going to catch up with the comments. Where are we at? 8:15. April. I change role or career this year. I'm giggling at myself because I'm noticing my eye exam's due. You'll see sometimes I wear my glasses on the live, sometimes I don't. The silly ring light. Anyway. Alright. April. Will I change role or career this year? Will I change role or career this year? this year. I'm wanting to go to like the later part of the year. Definitely, I feel around the October mark. The energy will probably be quite big in September, but I feel like it's an October mark. Even when I go 8, 9, 10 and try to clarify the numbers, they say October. There's a hesitancy here to actually make a change and a shift. Like even though the desire is obviously there. Don't shortcut. I want to say that to you. Don't shortcut. If there's a difference between changing career and doing what you want to do and stepping in here and being able to make the leap quicker, are we better off spending, say, like 6 months, 12 months training, doing whatever? I'm not saying you have to stay in a job where you're miserable, but, you know, doing here so that we're stepping up here. Just make sure that if you do switch over and, like, you know, you kind of want to be here and you walk in here, that you're making provisions around that. Otherwise, I feel like there's a dismay that kind of sits with it. I want you to really trust in what it is that you're wanting to move forward to. I feel like there's a level of hesitation because it's like, oh, can I do it? And when I sit with that, I get this really beautiful, nice feeling in me that's like, you know you can. I want to say you can, you know, it sits there. Like intelligence-wise, skill-wise, method-wise, you're so there. You know, and look, I'm I'm the queen of self-criticism, and I like to think that I've dropped that role now, and I've worked on it definitely. But I get it, and there's probably not, you know, some of that in the way as well. So, yeah. But let's be excited about that. Let's put a little bit more energy into it. You've got everything that you need there to put in play. And if you know that you're missing something, if you know you're kind of like going, oh, I really kind of need this, I want to implore you to make sure that that happens. And again, regardless of where you're at, and the reason why I kind of even just half suggest sitting where you are now, like if you've got a job that you're like, say, bored at but it pays your bills and does all of this sort of stuff, use that boredom to your advantage, because it means that you're not mentally depleted within your role, and so you've got that mental space outside to actually work yourself further towards this, you know. And that job then no longer becomes something that's like, it becomes you serve a purpose to me. Now you're working for me. This job is actually doing something for me. All right, and it's a nice way to kind of just relieve that energy if you do kind of hear what I'm saying in that regard, and there is something that you want to study or something else like that. I don't have an issue with you stepping in, but just take care of that bit, okay? Let me pull you a couple of cards. You got the patience card upside down. That's funny. It's not usually a theme, but yeah, you got the patience card. Yeah, nice. Okay, so where is it? It'll show. Not that it matters. Where'd it go? Oh. Bloody camera. See the patience card. Where is it? These are all like, oh, there's. Don't worry about it. Anyway, there it is. Alright, so April, you've got the mail card, you've got the take a chance card, and you've got the procrastination card. So for me, what this card represents in there is absolutely, it can be a connection to a relationship, but we're not really focused on that energy with you through this part of the reading. So I want to say to you, this is about calling on your strength, okay? And the difference between the female and the male card, because both talk about calling on your strength, it's, you know, the males are, and we're not stereotyping any others, but we know, like, females are a more, you know, feminine energy, males are a more masculine energy. So when we think of masculine energy, it's like, oh, let's go, you know, and so that's what I want to throw into that. It's like that, yeah, let's go. And just, you know, nothing changes if nothing changes. You know what? You know what? I'm going to do it. I kept a copy of something today because I went, I'm going to read that out at the live tonight, and funnily enough, it fits you perfectly. Where is it? Here, it says the 3 C's in life: choices, chances, and changes. You must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. And I quite like that, and as I said, I was drawn to keep it, and I got told I'd read it in the live, so that's for you. So your other card that you've got is the procrastination card, okay? So creating delays to avoid action. And again, I can be quite the queen of this. When there's something that we're a little bit like hesitant about or nervous about, or, you know, question our ability about, we tend to, you know, need to do other things first. I want to say to you, just, you know, be mindful of that and clear it out of the way, all right? if I keep pulling your cards, you've got the Spirit card, which always for me, when I made this deck, it was, Spirit wanted to be in the deck. And so that's a beautiful sign from Spirit that's there. And so with that, I find that you probably pick up little, feelings and stuff like that. I'm rambling because I feel a grandmother energy actually connected to that, but I'm actually curious if it's a great-grandmother energy, not a grandmother energy that's there, and you would have known this great-grandmother. She wasn't tall. She had quite the silvery grey hair that's there, and she's just, a little bit of a sweetheart. You know what, though? She's... She was a sweetheart. I love her, but she could put you in her place if she needed to. So that's just who connects in with that card. So when the other card, you got the no card, okay? And when the no card comes out, I put something on top of it to see what it is that you need to make sure you're not doing. And that's the worries and the doubts. Thinking too much and overthinking always just creates procrastination. You end with the female card, which is the other source of your strength. And what this talks about is that the change has to come from within, okay? So those changes and shifts that you want to see, it's going to be the energy that you put into it that makes that happen, not promises from other people, not opportunities that are going to fall in your lap. It's going to be what you go out and seek and find, okay? So I hope all of that helps, April. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure. All right, let me catch up. Thank you. Love your straight talking. I just like to get to the point. I've had feedback sometimes, and you know what? Feel free to tell me. And I probably can't slow it down anyway because it's just the channeling. But yes, I had one person say sometimes. I had a couple of people say slow down with your talking, and I'm like, I can't. But yeah, get to the point. That's my point. Alright, let's have a focus on you. Would love a career message. Career message. I want to say to you, the first thing I get around for you is that your efforts are starting to pay off, and as I was shuffling there, the moving on card just flipped over. What I'm feeling around you is that you're hitting a point now where you've kind of got to grab, this and this is what I've earned, this is what I've gone and, educated myself around, this is the experience that I've had. Hey guys, now it's time, and actually start knocking on doors to push yourself up and over. If there is already talk of people giving you energy towards that, I want to say I'm quite confident to sit with that energy, and I do feel like there's a genuine energy there. Sorry, I'm saying energy a lot. But that's the thing around it. The energy is really positive that's there, and it's just like, okay, now I've just got to, spruce up my resume and keep moving forward. But as I say that, as I said, I already feel like things are in play. So as I said, that for me feels quite strong, and the energy feels quite positive. If it's not there, go knock on a couple of doors because the energy's there, okay? And you'll see that it starts to move quite nicely. Being recognised for, that's the biggest message that I kept getting through. You're being recognised for prior recognition, prior experience. Let me pull you a couple of cards. I feel like I'm quite good where I'm at. I'm curious if you work quite close to another company, not business. I want to say company, and so like say for example, if we're in like a 30-story building type of thing, and like I'm not saying that's where you are, but I just feel like you're almost smack bang against another business, or you're very closely surrounded by other businesses. So your business would operate as part of a system that other businesses are part of, not dependent on, but part of. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm curious to see if the switchover isn't within that as well, because as I said, it feels very close. I'm not feeling like I'm moving you necessarily, I just want to move you like that. And so again, it's a nice, strong, positive energy. But just as I'm pulling cards, I get that as well. So I want to give that to you. That's funny. I must be doing something different in the show. I don't feel like I am, but you've got a card turned over as well, which is the health card, which, pay attention to what makes you happy. You got the health card turned over. Thanks. Alright, so changes, be open to embracing the changes, okay? So career changes, growth, future, all of those kind of things that are there. And that's what it is for me. It's about, just moving forward. And sometimes in moving forward, we have to let go of a couple of things. I don't really need to feel like I need to go to sacrifice around you. However, you have got the challenging matters of the heart there. For that, I'm actually more drawn around your friendships. And I'm curious to see if there's actually a friendship that's sitting around you at the moment that's not not as strong as what it once was, not as genuine as it once was. Perhaps this person's let you down a couple of times. I just want to say to you that, you know, that I don't feel animosity or anything else here, but if you do feel that friendship starting to pull away from you, this is someone that you've known a decent amount of time. It kind of just feels like it needs to happen at this stage, but I want to say to you it's not permanent, and I almost feel like this isn't the first time there's been a gap either in this friendship. You've got the support card that's there around you though that follows straight after it, and when I've made this card specifically, it's they got their hands on the back, because it's like you can genuinely trust that people around you that say they've got their back do, okay? And as I said, I do feel like any communication that you're getting there, you can trust. So I hope all of that helps. Thank you very kindly, and yeah, have a good night. Alright, what time are we at? 8:26. More water, nice, thank you. How's that for service, eh? Alright, Lisa. Let me just... Lisa. You know what's funny? When I'm sitting here and I'm staring at your name and shuffling cards, I'm feeling, you know, you've probably seen me, I've got like some, you know, funky music playing on in the background, but I'm feeling like I'm either like planning a tattoo, wanting a tattoo, just got a tattoo. That's not my energy, is it? No, that's not mine. That's your was. Alright, let's have a look. Nice, okay. You're going to have, coming up around you, some choices. And these are, you're comfortable at the moment, and I think though that in that comfort there's a little bit of frustration, you know, that little niggle that sits at the back of your head that says, yeah, everything's alright, but I'm not quite where I want to be. And I'm feeling this in relation, not necessarily to relationships and things like that around you, but more so things that to do with you, you know, so like career and all that sort of stuff. But it's not, I don't feel like you're like a person that's like, oh, your life's all about job, and it's alright, my mind goes different places sometimes. I don't feel like it's all about your job, okay? And the reason why I kind of stopped and started in that is because I don't necessarily want to say that people that are career focused are like, I'm feeling like I need to sort of differentiate that in between you for some reason, and that's why, as I said, I literally stopped, because I was like, is that a thing to say? You're figuring out some beautiful parts of yourself, and I really want you to trust in those. And I feel like you're starting to plot a little bit of a plan ahead of you, and at times you wonder how it'll impact those around you. But I want to say you've got some nice souls that sit there, and so you can really kind of just, you can count on support to a degree, and those that aren't sort of meant to be there. People serve us for a time, and sometimes as we move forward, it's not that we have to let them go, or, you know, there's but it's kind of just natural progression. And sometimes the hands we hold are the hands that hold us down. Okay, I just want to leave that with you, and I don't want to get too heavy with it, but I feel like that's where I'm trying to get, because when I'm looking forward with you, again, you can see, like, I'm taking all of these things into consideration. I'm worrying too much about what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? And that's not how I flow here. And so when I sit with that energy, I just want to say to you, just, you've got such a... There's no way you're not an empath. You've got such a strong hone-in on people, and I feel like you feel that, and it makes you question yourself to what your intuition's telling you, to what, you know, life and experience is telling you. Bring it back into yourself, and as I said, I just want to leave you with that sentence that sometimes the hands we hold are the hands that hold us down. Okay? Now, when I pull cards with you, you've got the security card that's there, and as soon as I pulled that card out for you, the first thing that it come to my mind was, I want to give you assurance that choices and decisions that you're going to make ahead of you are going to be good and solid. They might feel a little bit like different and as you go through, and I feel like I'm on a bit of a 12-month journey with you, but the gee whiz, I want to smile at the end of it, okay? You've got the growth card that's there, which you've probably heard me say before if you've seen or been on the live tonight, but the tree of life is very, very symbolic for me, and it's about connection to that self and that, grounding and all of that kind of beautiful energy. So you've got the crossroads card that's there, which is choices and decisions and direction, and it's similar. Every now and then when I have this card with somebody, I see it in a little bit of a different way. I see it with two roads actually like blackened out, not blackened out, but like no lights on, and one road always has like this big bright light on it, okay? And I'm seeing the same with you that's there. It's like the road that I stand on now, and it's like I can make choices that I've made in the past. I can make choices that are like kind of comfortable and easy, or I can kind of just go for gold in this, because if I look around me right now in life, I'm kind of in a position to be able to sort of push myself forward in a less comfortable way and still be secure. So I hope all of that helps. I really want to just really think about what you want, what makes you happy, what you need in this life, and if you start putting the steps in place for that, that's exactly where you're going to go. But again, release some of that away. Alright, so I hope that helps. Alright, so guys, I'm just going to have a quick little, not break. What? You don't do breaks? No, I don't. I know, and hopefully this is boring you guys by now. I really hope it is, okay? There are people that basically are copying every single Facebook page, and they'll send you a friend request, or they'll message you saying, hey, would you like a reading? Then they'll hit you up for credit card details and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. There'll always be a misspell in the name, so please just kind of be vigilant, but just know I will never ever send you a friend request, and I will never ever message you for a reading. That's absolutely disrespectful, and if you approach me, fantastic, but I'll never approach you first, alright? So just, please just be aware. There's a code that's going at the moment as well. If you enter the code January into the booking system, you'll get 25% off. Your booking doesn't need to be in January. You can book it for, I think you can book like 240 days ahead in my system. But you've got to book it in January for the code. There'll be a new code in February, but January is get 25% off. And while I've got the code up, I'm going to take advantage and just very quickly clear my throat. Sorry guys, when I talk heaps, it does that sometimes. Alright, my first book, 33 Ways How to Self-Sabotage and Make Life Harder Than It Needs to Be. This is just a really quick book, but it's really nice. So I'm a bit of a sarcastic person, as I'm sure you guys have figured out, and that is the manner in which I've wrote this book. So rather than sitting there and telling you how to, do things a good way, I've sort of looked at the perspective of what happens when we do things the hard way, because that's how I did everything. Hopefully not so much these days, but yeah, it's a great little book. It's only $11, $15 with postage, and if you'd like to buy a copy, you can contact me, or you can get it off of Amazon. The Tarot book. This book is an easy guide to connect intuitively to your deck. The beautiful Serena May gave me some valuable contributions within this book, so she's definitely given some credit here, but the tarot book is fantastic. It will connect to any tarot deck. Basically, I've taken out all of the wishy-washy. It's nice, it's simple, it's concise, it tells you exactly what it is that you need to know, and allows you then just that basic energy to have your intuition validated, okay? And you can start to build, because you do not need to memorize a book to read cards. Tarot is a little bit different. I get some people get right into the specifics, and I absolutely respect that. This book is a really nice balance in between, so you can kind of trust in what it is that you're picking up, but still be able to use your intuition. That book there is $25. It's I believe it's $30 postage, maybe $32.50 posted, but it's $25 to buy. Otherwise, again, you can get that on Amazon. This one I didn't make to publish, but I've had a bunch of people go, I want it. So it's My Money Matters, and basically what it was is I'm trying to develop a really nice strong relationship with my money. If you want money to manifest, you've got to love your money. So even if you're broke, you've still got to treat every cent that you've got with value and respect, and know where it's going and all that sort of stuff. searched and searched and searched, could not find a financial journal that suited all my tidbits, and so I made one. You know, I put at the front of it a place for my perspectives, for my annual budget, my savings planner, all that kind of boring stuff. But I also put in, you know, just again, it was just for me, but like why this matters. Like, you know, why is my relationship with money important? There's time to sit and to contemplate. Anyway, you can see by me playing with it, it's a big ass book. There literally is there's a weekly, so at the beginning of each week you've got a place to put your weekly, this is what I need to do, and then you've got 7 days of daily where you get to like do what you actually did and adjust and do everything else like that you need to. Again, it's big and it's ass. I didn't actually make it kind of sell, but it is available on Amazon for $55. However, you can get it off me for $40, but I need to put some pre-orders in. So if you guys would like a copy of that, you do have to message me. You won't be able to just grab it, all right? Unless you want to go to Amazon. All right, let's get on with it. Thank you. Jody, hi, I would love to know more about the choices I should make in the next year. Do I make the big move? Is there longevity that will make it worth it? My first instinct is to say to you, and the first thing that comes to me that says to you is, you know, like, why not? If the means and everything else like that are there, I feel like this is something that you've thought about on and off, you know, for quite a bit. And so I want to say to you, like, if fear is the only thing that's stopping you, don't let that be a stop. I want to say, like when you say, is there longevity that will make it worth it? The longevity side of things, I don't actually feel like this will be permanent. I feel like you'll actually go back. But will it be worth it? Yes. I want to say yes. Definitely lessons within it, but yes, okay? So I feel like this is almost like one of those things that your gut's telling you, you know, to do. Let me just pull some cards for you. Like you've got like awareness of up there. I don't feel this is a blind move, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Yes, you can order all 3 of my books. Sorry, so the message jumped over the screen. Alright. Let's have a look. I know what the cards are at that end, so I can't pull any off the top because I know they're near the end. There's a couple flipped over, so I feel like I'm cheating. Alright, so when I sit with your cards, you've got the healing card that's there, okay? And it talks about being patient but allowing the healing to come in. You've got an external conflict card and you've got a procrastination card. The healing side. The healing side for me is that you're ready to move on, okay? You're ready to move on, but obviously, you know, even like big moves are, you know what I mean? They're fraught with everything, and so that's okay, that energy is there, but being patient but allowing yourself the time and space to move on, okay? External conflict, I get someone's in your ear and somebody's like making you doubt a lot, you know, and it could even be with no misintention of just, you know, they love you heaps and they worry and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. Or either that, or there's a specific circumstance there that you're like not a little bit too keen around. If that's the case up there, I want to say no, don't stress around it. And even here, like I want to say don't stress around it, but I mean it's easy to say don't stress, but if you care about someone, then you care what they care. But it's causing conflict even just within yourself. And so I want to say to you that you need to just see again, if fear and doubt is the only thing that's stopping you, put them to the side. You've got the procrastination card that's there, so creating delays to avoid action, which is pretty much just everything that we've kind of talked about. So you did have a jump card, but so I'm going to pull that. You've got the female card, which talks about this shift, this energy. It's going to be all about you. It's going to be the energy that you put into it. The strength needs to come from within you to do it, okay? Again, like even after now, I've had a couple of moments to speak to you. I don't feel it's permanent, but that it's necessary is not the right word, you know, because it feels so much more like beautiful than that, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel tedious to me, but it does feel like it's worth it, but with lessons. And you know, those lessons again, they're needed, and so I don't want to be like necessarily attach the word negative to lessons either. I'll be honest and attach the word challenging to them, but not too challenging. But negative, nah. I don't want to. I feel like you actually walk away from this experience so much stronger, so much just grateful that you did it, and actually ready to step onto the thing that this purpose is for. All right, it just may change shape a little bit, which is why, you know, the shift is there. But yeah, blessings and go forth, absolutely. All right, so yeah, I hope that helps, Jody. All right. Hey Bill, I would really love a general reading, please. Bill was nice enough to send me a message the other day. She turned one of my photos around for me, of the covers, because it was sitting the wrong way, which is nice of her. So it would be my pleasure. Alright. Bill, I reckon you're doing alright. You know, I might not feel like it every day, but I think that you're getting more and more in touch with that. Not to say you're out of touch, but you know what I mean, just more and more in touch. Which makes sense of your cards. Alright, so you've got the self-care card there, which talks about standing in your truth and your honour and your awareness. You got the wolf in sheep's clothing card thereafter. And you know what, actually, I want to attach to that. It's family, and it's like that petty, whatever, mate, see ya, no ill effect kind of energy that's there around it. So don't let, you know, people's opinions get in the way of anything, okay? They're really not valid. The where are you card, for me, this is sometimes, you know, not sometimes, like 95% of the time, a more heavier card. I want to say, like you would have all heard me say, it's the most heaviest card in the deck. But you know what, I actually like it with you today, because I want to say to you that all of the experiences that you've had, and you know, challenges and everything else like that, say like even over the last couple of years, it's like slowly, you know what I see, it's like you're walking in the wind, you know, and every now and then you get this extra big brush of wind that, you know, just takes a little bit more off your shoulders, and you're really starting to realign with the quality of happiness, you know. And again, even if every day you don't feel like it, or if it feels like oh wow, it's this different energy, I really want you to ride with that, and I want you not to feel selfish in the things that you want to do moving forward, okay? Just know that you'll be, like, have blessings around doing them. I want to say you'll be blessed, but when I said that, like, what I see is like support, and it was like, yeah, there you go, you know. So take a moment to breathe. Challenging matters of the heart, and as I said, you know, self-care, a little bit of like energy around the family and things like that. I get it, you care deeply, but don't let things weigh heavier than what they need to, okay? Like, and you know, again, you know yourself well enough to be able to do that, alright? So you've got the changes card that's there, which talks about being open to embracing the change, as I said, but being caught in your own head a little bit about it. Internal conflict very often follows with the frustration card, but it just makes sense when you're caught in your own head. But you've got the sunset card that's there, and that's, again, it's the end of an era, it's the end of a phase. And for me, again, you know, you're walking along and you're starting to drop that weight off the back of your shoulders, and you know, it feels good. And sometimes you're not quite noticing that it's actually lifted until you know, go to get in the car and you're like, oh, you know, metaphorically speaking, of course. You've got the new beginnings card, you've got the moving forward card, you've got the transformation card, all there at the end of your reading, okay? And I mean, it doesn't, that's like the 3 pyramids. You got 15 free spins, okay? I always make that reference to anyone, sorry if they get offended with gambling references, but my grandma loved the pokies, and that was, yeah, it always takes my heart back to her. But you've got the new beginnings card, you've got the moving on towards better things, and as I said, the transformation card. So really let this energy in, okay? Keep yourself nice and grounded. You know that it's time to start doing these things. Be mindful of the external conflict, but as I said, that's just that wishy-wash that we set up there before. Don't let it be bigger than it needs to, even though I know you've got that heart space there. Procrastination, avoiding delays to, creating delays to avoid action, okay, but you need to think about the long term. You need to think about the long term, and you need to think about your health, alright? So let this be a beautiful kick up the butt that gives you that beautiful smile on your face and validation to just, yeah, allow those few little sparkles. It's nice, actually. You know what I just saw? Like a packet of, you know, the sparkles out on the back veranda, and it was like, I just gave you a lighter and you're allowed to go out the back and play with them, you know, and it's pretty and it's nice and it fills your heart with joy. You know, I'm a bit of a big kid like that, so sparkles are fun. But that's what I have for you, Belle, and I hope that helps. Alright. How much is the Money Matters book? Maureen, I could do it for $40. That's like literally the cheapest I can do it. I'm sorry, I will not make the rest of them this big that I do. As I said, I kind of just did this one because I wanted something that was like really going to connect for me. But it turns out other people kind of wanted it as well. So it's $40, but it does do the entire year. And you know what? That cheeky little part of me does sit back and goes, well, you know what? For me, $40 is a small investment to actually fall in line with all of my money. So, you know, it is $55 on Amazon, but if I order the copies and get your bulk order that's there, I can take off there and bring it down to 40 for you guys. But I'll need to do a pre-order for that. So yeah, I'm trying to get all that together over the next 2 days so that I can put that order in by latest Friday, and they should be here like a week and a half, 2 weeks latest. The other ones I've got. I only ordered one copy of the other one. So it's always away, always away. All right. Hey guys, I can just see a couple of them too, and I just want to say, just because you know, sometimes I'm drawn to you, but the question's too big, and if I go, I'll just use a general reading. It doesn't cover a whole year. I can't cover a whole year. I can't sit and take that time to focus through. Like focus on what that's like that's a reading. So if you could be just a little bit more specific around something within that, or something that you'd like to know most within that, then I can grab you guys. But I'll be 100% honest, because as I said, I don't want everyone to miss out. But they are questions that I kind of don't feel like I can do honour to within the short time frame. Okay, so yeah, just to give you a heads up, just reword it a little bit. All right, Michelle. When I shuffle my cards, Michelle, I see you playing with cards. You've got a really nice, beautiful soul. You do a lot for other people, but sometimes I feel like you do get very little in return. And it's sometimes hard to jump over personal things, you know, experiences and all of those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. But I want to say to you that you've got, there's such a remarkable energy when I tap into you. I feel like it's funny that I just said what I said and then I tap in onto yours, because I feel like I could sit and chat for an hour with you, and I feel like to some degree it's almost that time length that's needed. And I want to say that only just because again, it's like that you're just so used to putting other people first, and you know what I mean, and things like that. I really want to implore you to make sure that there's things around you that make you happy as well, you know. I don't want to suggest that there's nothing, you know what I mean, I wouldn't do such, but I do feel like though that there's definitely something missing, and I want to honour that energy in there, so hopefully, you know, I can give you the right insight and guidance and honour you back. You've got the Take a Moment card. With gratitude and rest are needed, and the gratitude word there I always like to explain, because it's not about be grateful for what you got at all. It's about gratitude, and for me, gratitude, and you know what gratitude is being able to appreciate the beauty in the things around you and the simple things. And I mean, look, it's a very general thing. Other people will have different slight interpretations to it, but again, and I know you've all heard me say it, but the blue sky with green trees on just that really bright day, it looks up, it captivates me. Watching butterflies, sitting there just watching the water come in, feeling the wind on my skin on that summer night when it's been stinking hot and the breeze is cool. Oh, that's the best. It's those little things like that even when life feels like it around you for whatever thing, even if it's just one big thing that's happening, it gives you reprieve. And there's been scientific research around where you get someone to hold a place of gratitude and then try to get them to hold a negative, and biologically the body won't do it. So you're literally giving yourself a break. And so I just want to kind of do that, because within that comes clarity. You've got the Confront Fears card that's there, which talks about release and freedom and courage, and you can see you're breaking away the chains that bind you, okay? And that's that energy that's there. I feel like you've got so much personal awareness and everything else that sits there that says to you, this is just a little bit out of sync in, again, I don't want to put it everywhere, but just in that part that's relevant to you, okay? And, I so want to just encourage you. I so just want to encourage you. You've got the Stand Strong card that's there. You know, you've got this. You got this. And again, if you see me often enough, you'll know I don't say you got this. I always go, you've got this. It's like, you freaking got this. You know, again, you can see you've got such an amazing energy that's there. And so I just want to say to you that's there, sit with yourself, see what's just feeling a little bit out of whack, and really honour that moving forward, okay? Now, choices, decisions and directions, and that we have to move forward without always having the answers. The answers are blowing in the wind. There's lessons within the journey, okay? Time to clear out the shit on the shovel, alright? Your goals are not impossible, and once we kind of connect with this, you get a beautiful change of luck that comes in, but you need to make the commitment to move forward, alright? Once you do that, again, you're moving on to better things. A little bit of frustration. I can see that. And not everyone's going to support you, you know, but screw them. And I can say that, like, it really is that energy. What you need to know most of yourself, I've come this far, so I'll pull the rest of your cards for you, is that you've got the transformation. And again, there's so much possibility and potential with you that's there. It really captivates me. You've got the New Beginnings card, alright, which is nice. As I said, again, allow this energy in. Allow. Your worries and your doubts, you know, don't let them overwhelm you. Break them down. Deal with them one at a time rather than looking at them as one huge, you know, catastrophe. Self-trust and self-belief is where it all begins, and it really honestly does. You know, if you can just turn that key a little bit. And again, let's keep it in context. I'm not saying that you're like, you know, as I said, keep it relevant to where it sits for you right now. We're in a public forum, so I keep it general. You know, but I just want to give you all of that energy that's there, and just, you know, recognise, as cliche as it is, recognise the beauty in yourself as much as what I can right now, because I want to tell you it is freaking amazing. So I hope that helps. Alright. What time are we at? 8:51. Gee whiz, time goes. Are my thoughts on your relationship on track? Yep. I was going to say, yep, they are. Just, you know yourself enough, you know, if you're acting a little bit jealous, a little bit insecure, whatever else like that, just kind of check in with yourself. Again, keep it in context, I'm not saying that you are. But I just want to say, like, you know, sometimes we feel a bit of a little arousal within us, kind of, you know. But it's just, you know, and it's just stuff that if you just take into account, going, yeah, that's all cool. I recognise where that comes from, and I recognise why it's there. Sweet, we'll put that back where it belongs, and I'll trust and sit into the energy that I actually know to be true. And I just feel like if you keep doing that, this relationship will be an experience for you, okay? Be an experience for you, but she didn't say positive or negative. I do feel like it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's one of those relationships there where, like, if I need to, I will do my best to make sure you're aware of both sides of the story, and when there's both sides of the story to be had. In this instance here, you know, it is a genuine energy where I say that even the challenges that I see here, and the lessons that come from them, can be really positive. So keep your communication, like always remember, don't say nothing you don't mean, okay? And if it happens, I'm not saying that it does, but if you feel that energy back to you, call it out straight away and say, hey, that's not okay. And really just set and come in with some nice healthy boundaries that's there. Again, I get it, I hear myself, I know it's cliche, but you know what, it's not. And so if you sit with that right now, as I said, there's really nice, and I want to encourage you and to trust and keep doing what you're doing. And just know that there is, just a little bit of a journey on the way, but for all the ups and downs that are there within it, and again, keep that in context, it's going to be worth it, alright? It's going to be worth it for what it gives you, okay? And just enjoy the experience for whatever it turns out to be, alright? And that's not a me of saying that this relationship's not going to work either, okay? That's not written in the wind with you guys, I'll be 100% honest with you. It's going to be how we build the package, okay? That'll dictate that. So, just keep doing what you're doing, stand in your truth and your honour, and it's all good, alright? Okay. You and me both. No. Anything on relationships, I'm so confused and unsure of what I'm doing. But it is, isn't it? It's a little bit like that sometimes. What do I want to say for you? Relationship, I'm so confused and unsure of what I'm doing. You know what? like I'm not disputing your words in any way, shape or form, because I want to say you're not confused, okay, and I'm absolutely respecting your sentence. I want to be really clear around that. What I feel like, it's not that you're confused, it's just that it's like there's a lot of feelings that are there, and it's like, which one do I grab, which is confusing. I can hear myself, I get it, but within that, I just feel like it's a hesitancy to actually grab what it is that you want, okay, and that's where the confusion's coming in, of what is the right thing to do. So yeah, again, I hear myself, but you get what I'm saying. So, and unsure. You know what? Always come back to ground zero. Always come back to ground zero. It's like when you've I don't know, when you're trying to untangle a necklace or something else like that, and it just turns into a mess. You know, take a breath, bring yourself back to the point, find that end again, and start to unravel again. You know what I mean? And I just feel like that's what you need to do, just with where you're sitting right now. Have a little bit of a giggle to yourself along the way, and remember that this journey is one to be enjoyed. Even the frustrating, crazy parts, you know what I mean? It's what makes the funny stories in 5 years. And so I want to just really encourage you, again, just to provide yourself some time of clarity. Simple ways that happens. You know, a beautiful walk by yourself, you know, along water or somewhere that there's a lot of green around you. Going for a walk along concrete and shoes is not, you know, kind of where it's at. Not disputing that as far as like going for walks goes, but for where you go, I just feel like you need that silence around you, not cars driving past, or, you know, waving at neighbours or looking at pretty cats in the windows or anything else like that. Just that clarity, and just really allow yourself to sit and go, alright, this is what I want, this is what I know I need to do, and this is what I know I'm able to do, and really just lay a little bit more of a solid foundation that's there, and then keep moving forward, okay? Because there's nothing else I need to say that's out of whack or out of play, alright? You have enough. You have enough. Just make sure that within that, you're number one. Alright, so be open to embracing the changes. Alright, yeah, again, bring it back to ground zero. You get your change of luck. You've got the uncertainty that sits there with it. That's where I want to say to you, like, sometimes I sit and I talk and I can hear, you know, meditation, walking, water, food, blah, 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 so underrated sometimes, you know, and I think when things have been so hard and so challenging, we struggle to see how such simple solutions can really kind of guide us through and help us through. But I want to really kind of challenge you just to take that time out with yourself right now and to make the decisions that are for you, okay? Not what you think you should do because of what society says or family says or anyone else says, but what it is that you want to do. And I think when that sits in your framework or even of what you desire, okay, then that's going to come into play. Don't be afraid to let go of something that is not serving you, okay? It will be replaced with something better, and don't for 1 second ever think that that is not the case. Alright, I'll bet my balls on it, okay? Now, if I keep pulling your cards, you've got the self-care card that's there, which, as I said, you need to stand in your truth and your honour and your awareness. The truth is here. You've got internal conflict being caught in your own minds, which is clear. The energy, the shifts and the changes are going to have to come from within you, okay? If it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. And so I really kind of just want to give that to you, and, you know, not always swear. But anyway, yeah. Again, with 100%, it's not confusion, it's lack of clarity, which I know can cross over to the same thing, but it's not the same when the answers are there, but we're just giving ourselves the space and the time to actually grab onto them, okay? The clarity is there, it wants to be there, so let it come in, alright? And honour that, even if it's not what you want or what you know, your heart wants. It's what your soul is telling you need, so listen, okay? So I hope that helps. Alright. So I'm going to do 2 more readings, guys. I am back on Friday, but it is day, okay? Next Friday, this Friday coming, is daytime, because I am babysitting on Friday night. So yeah, Friday day. It will be, I don't know, because I have to check the calendar, but it will be before lunch, I would say, or around lunch. It won't be 9 o'clock in the morning. Alright, 2 more readings. Violet, your name's called my name a couple of times. Can I have a love reading, and can I have a reading about my love life, please? Sure. Listen to what I just said in the last reading. I'm not saying that reading's for you, but I just want it to resonate with you. If it does resonate deeply already, I want you to just take it on board. It happens, you know, and I'm sure for those of you that have watched a few times, you'll see there's generally a theme. So absolutely, like even when you're doing readings, certain messages and things like that come out and they resonate particularly to you. But just remember, we're all sitting in a group right now. We're all a collective energy. And so, you know, messages that resonate with you and make sense for you, even though they're for somebody else at that time, that's how channeling works. You know, you're meant to be here to listen to that for a reason. And so always feel happy to take things on board that resonate. Unless it's like, oh, your relationship's doomed, and you're like, is my relationship dead? Don't take that one. Okay, let's do that one individually. Alright, let's have a look and see. Yeah, so the answers are, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just kind of, you know, without spending the next 20 minutes repeating things that I know you just heard, I want you just to take all of that energy into and board, and just to, again, know that sometimes to move forward, we're not going to have all the answers. You know, the answers are blowing in the wind. Oh, some of you guys lost coverage because of the rain down in Sydney. Sorry about that. So I'm back on Friday, but we've got to move forward at times. Okay. Self-trust and self-belief is where it all begins, and you've got the Stand Strong card that's there. I just want to see where your story goes a little bit. Okay. Alright, so there's some interference, and it's minor, but it's like niggle. So, you know, it could be like a mother-in-law, a sister, brother, best friend, you know, ill advice type stuff, or just interference. It doesn't necessarily have to be, no, this person's doing that. It can be like, oh, can I come over for dinner every 5 minutes and stuff like that. So just interference. This is a cycle. This isn't the first time I've been sitting here in this energy. I want to say to you though that, especially around the current side of things, this isn't a negative energy at all. This really needs a clean up and a clear out and a focus on staying here. You know, like, so if there's two of us there, the circle needs to not be this big, the circle needs to be that big. We need to not allow interference from outside sources keep interfering with us, because if things don't change, then I would, and you know, if you've tried to make things change and all that sort of stuff that's there, then what you have right now is how it'll stay, okay? And so I'll let you make decisions based on that. But I actually do feel there's a lot of productive energy that can come in once we put everything to the side, bring ourselves back, as I said, to that ground zero, and actually have a look and see what's valued, what's important, and what's priority. And that in itself brings a lot of energy around, because when I sit with what you need to know most, you've got that love card. That's not about relationships, that card. That's about personal awareness, being strong enough that you know what's right, and working hard enough that the love and the desire and the happiness that you seek is going to be valued. You know that it's time. You need to release the external conflict, and you need to stop, you know, procrastinating around it as far as that side of things goes. Things yeah, again, leave them sit, and this is how they'll stay. Which is like perhaps obvious, but it's not just like a, oh yeah, okay, you know what I mean? Things need to shift around. And I want to say to you as well, just in case this is about bringing someone in or someone around, it's that same energy there. Sit with what you know to be true. Discard what is not serving you around, and it'll still bring that same clarity. Because this card's about you. This card's not about relationship. This card's about you. So I know you're doing something right within that, but just you need a little bit more honour within yourself. You need to trust yourself a little bit more. You've got spirit that sit there around you, right next to the intuition card. So just really trust in those energies, okay? You need to pay attention to your health. You need to call on your strengths. Once you put all into play, you'll see, you know, change your luck, and you've got some choices and decisions to make. So as I said, I really want to just sit with there and almost mesh them together and say that, you know, again, what needs to be pushed to the side. Don't allow that mind chatter to take over, okay? You're boss of that, so you're stronger than that. You tell it what's happening rather than the other way around, okay? All is not lost here by any yards of the stick, but again, if we don't actually take any time to fix it, then we will continue to see exactly what we've got right now in whatever shape or form that is for you right now. Alright, so I hope that helps. Alright, so guys, I am here Friday again through the day. If I've missed comments or anything else like that through here, because I don't see all of them, which is why I always invite you to comment more than once, I will not see comments for books or anything else in the live feed. You need to message me, please. Alright, so I'm just going to catch up to the time. Let's jump up. Melissa. Alright. Just give me 1 second, sorry. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's a duck. Okay? I don't want to make it as deep as like being played and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, the energy's there. It's kind of obvious. Like when I say it's kind of obvious, I don't mean it's like, oh, it's obvious. I mean it like as in it's pretty obvious around you. Like you're really kind of feeling it, and I want you just to kind of trust it. Okay, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, yeah, all right. Alright, that was a quick one because I just want to say that to you, just trust that because I saw your other one, okay, so I just wanted to chuck that one on. Yeah, so I can't, even when I scroll, I'll come back to that and I just want to say, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck, alright? Yeah, nice, you're very welcome, Violet, absolutely very welcome. Alright, let me just scroll back up a little bit so I can... This one. Carolyn. Alright, beautiful. So guys, as you start to drop out, because I am finishing on the last reading, just remember I am here on Friday. I'll put a post up about an hour beforehand, so if you do like and follow my page, you will get a notification that I'm going to go live at a certain time or whatever else it's there, so you can jump on. After Friday I'll be live again on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at this stage, and yeah, it's been nice to be back. So alright Carolyn, let me give you a reading. I want to say there's a nice energy of shift around you, okay? There'll be like, it's almost like you get inundated with love, and I'm not talking about relationship love or any other stuff. It's coming at you. There's like someone comes along and picks you up, or just gives you those word of wisdoms that kind of helps you slip back into. I really feel like you're just in a moment, and I don't want to invalidate anything that's going on in that moment, but I do. I just feel like you're just caught in a moment that's going to pass. Okay. When I pull your cards, it's got it's time. Okay. You feel it and you know it, and that for me is just that. Sometimes when I call it feeling itchy in our own skin, and it's that frustration, that sits deeper within us. And what I want to say, just to acknowledge that, it's like when we're feeling itchy in our own skin, it's the universe's way, it's our soul's way of saying to us, okay, we need some changes. We know what we kind of want to do, but we're procrastinating around doing it, or we're a little bit nervous to do it, or haven't done it before, or whatever else that it is that's there. So just really, allow yourself to throw a little bit more colour and adventure around you. Now, problems that are weighing in around you and things that are on your mind, again, like I keep getting 3 months of clarity around you, so I want to say to you that, again, this is just a moment. Things that, aren't just so easily dismissible of, oh, it's just a moment, but the heavier parts within that, again, is where I see that clarity gaining in and around. I see financial security, I see clarity of direction, I see just a weight off of my shoulders that's there, okay? Now, you've got the self-care card, which talks about standing in your truth and your honour and your awareness, and with this card particularly with you, I want to say make sure you're looking after you, like the physical you as well, especially like around your core strength and things like that too. I feel like you're generally quite a fit and mindful person, but I just feel like you know, when things get a little bit challenging around or our mind's distracted, we tend to kind of let that lapse a little bit. So just be mindful, okay, especially if you do have that weaker back. Trust in your psychic centres. You got the intuition card that's there, and as I said, bring a little bit of colour and adventure into your life. And again, not suggesting you don't have any or anything else like that, but just that you're going to receive, again, nice big clarity over the next 3 months, and you also, I just see someone coming in and picking you up, wise words, you know, just that enough to kind of allow yourself to give yourself a little bit of a shake off and pick your boots up and keep going on, okay? So in the meantime, think of some things that really kind of make you happy, you know, even if it's like a big beautiful bubble bath, or it's cooking a favourite meal, going for a walk somewhere, having music that you like playing in the background while you're cleaning the house, instead of sort of cleaning in silence. Things that bring just that little spark of joy to you, and the more things that you have around you like that each day, the more that energy is going to lift and that feeling of being lost will start to disappear. Journaling is a really great way to clear your mind as well. It might feel like it'll never end, but it does. And other than that as well, I just want to say to you that, you know, take care of the things that you've kind of been delaying taking care of as well, you know. So, and with that, again, there's probably reasons and but yeah, just take all of that onto board, and it's like when I say that, I get a big shovel and I'm just shoveling the snow out of the way. All right, so I hope all of that helps. It's you've got a really nice strong energy that's there. You're just in a little bit of a lull. All right, so again, hope all of that helps, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I look forward to seeing you on Friday, and in the meantime, always appreciate a page like if you haven't done so already, and if you'd like to purchase any of the books, please message me directly. Much love. Have a good night.